ミクだよー。
You know, when I made the Miku video, I didn't expect people wanting me to play more from the franchise. From people giving valid critics about colorful states, to people recommending new controllers to try, to, well, new games.
And it's only fair that I respond to this community. So, today, we're going to be talking about 5 more Hatsune Miku games. Some new, some old. And we're going to go back and talk about the 2 games I talked beforehand that you guys gave feedbacks to, and give my opinion on those feedbacks, yada yada yada. And of course, my obsession. So, on this Miku Day, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly Hatsune Miku games.
So, let's start off with the game I already talked about. A lot of you have given me great feedbacks from the last time I talked about this game. More specifically, the controller to use. See, in the original video, I talked about how playing with an Xbox controller hurts my hand and went to my level-less controller instead for the sake of easiness. Some of the comments pretty much recommended that I try the PlayStation controller instead, as it was how the others got into or might help with my hand clamp, and, well, there's 2 problems with this controller. First off, it's not consistent. Most likely how I set it off, but when playing this wireless aka Bluetooth, the latency was there and fluctuated to the point playing wireless was detrimental for me. For comparison, playing wireless Bluetooth on Xbox controller had no issues whatsoever. But even if I played wired, well, the hand cramp still happened. It's probably because I don't play rhythm game via controller, or that I am old.
Oh, sit down, boys and girls. Today I will talk to you about the first internet communication I ever used, MSN Messenger.
If you felt old, good! Feel old! Jokes aside, I thought I ran out of options. I mean, sure, I had my level-less controller, but even then, what keys is what was confusing. And I guess that's what I get for playing rhythm games primarily on keyboard.
Wait a minute, I could just use my keyboard.
The moment I changed my setup to keyboard, things just clicked. Like I am still not getting full combos, but I'm getting pretty comfortable with the maths and inputs. Plus, I changed all the input displays to be arrows so that I know better what to click. Heck, the only thing I changed from the default setup is changing from OKL semicolon to PL semicolon apostolic, aka moving my right hand 1 key to the right, and the shift keys being the slides. And things just clicked, which begs the question,
why didn't I do that in the first place?
To give me some leeway, I did buy the gaming keyboard after planning the whole Miku video, which I showed in the Neko Dancer video. But even then, I could have just used my Corsair K55, albeit not the best when it comes to rhythm games. It is still consistent. Sometimes we just overcomplicate something to just a simple answer as to just change the controller you primarily played a certain genres with. I'm stating this because if you're in a similar situation as myself, hey, maybe use a keyboard?
And if you're curious, my keyboard is Wooting 60 HE+. I think a newer version is coming out soon, so maybe wait for that. But pure disclaimer, I'm not using this because I'm gonna be a professional rhythm game or anything like that. No, it's more so because the input latency is very minimum so that I can have as much consistency as I can. This keyboard in layman terms has around 1-2 milliseconds of delay, whereas my normal keyboard has like 4-5 milliseconds of delay. And for keyboard nerds, my K55, the one I use every day, has 1000 Hz, whereas this one has 8 1000 Hz.
But besides that, I'm still having fun playing the rhythm games. This is definitely my Miku rhythm game. And while the PS4 controller did not work as intended, at least it led me to my answer nonetheless. Speaking of inputs and critics, I do know about the Colorful Stage critics. Some of you have mentioned that the gacha element doesn't affect your skill ranking once you reach a certain level. So no matter what characters you have, your skill will still determine how well you rank up each song. Which is pretty solid thing to hear, and I am happy about it.
The thing is, that is what you guys have told me. And while I do believe the veteran players and whatnot, I do want to test that theory myself. You know, first-hand proof and all that. The thing is, my mobile isn't great for gaming, yet alone rhythm gaming. Like 20 minutes playing and this thing stutters to the point that it's basically unperformable. I do want to try to get an iPad. I believe iPad 11-inch something is the best. But last time I checked it, yeah, that's gonna be a while. And I'm not in a state that this channel is monetized. Subscribe so that I can monetize this channel?
Shameless pity plug aside, I hope I can at least do that before the end of this year. But for now, that mobile game is gonna be put to the side, and instead, I found 2 new mobile games I found for this video. And since Colorful Stage was a very good impression for me, all things considered, these 2 should be fine, right? Right? So I'm going to talk brief with these 2 mobile games I played. One was Miku Tycoon, which essentially is a card game where you play the highest suit and numbers. 2 being the highest, you can have combos which has the same numbers with different suits, or lock a suit after a certain point, etc, etc. First one to get rid of all their cards is the king, which, yeah, it's fun, but you need friends to get into it. You can play with the CPUs, but even then, this game is fun for like 10-20 minutes at most. And then there's Miku Train, which, hey, I liked it. It is a minigame vibe, but it does get challenging. Essentially, you need to avoid walls and collect points. If you hit the said wall, you will lose that many points displayed on the wall. If you reach 0, game over. And it is mission based, but I digress. It is a quick fun snack game if you want something quick when you are waiting for something or something else, but not a serious dedication game I would get into. With that said, I wouldn't play any of these 2 for one reason.
Now I remember why I don't play much mobile games.
There's no other way to say this. Ads are horrible for both of them. Every time I finish a game or a mission, ads keep popping up and it's the same old ads and it is barely skippable. And yes, even if you fail said map in Miku Train, you still get ads, which is ugh. You can buy ad-free version for 1.5 USD, but why? It's not a game you're gonna play for a long time, and there's, well, better games to play, mobile version included. I guess if you are a Hatsune Miku fan, maybe, but even then, I don't think these games are worth it. I would pass on these 2 mobile games.
Originally, I was debating whether I should add these 2 mobile games in the video or not. But I wanted to talk about 5 new Hatsune Miku games like last time, so I added these 2 despite my annoyingness. With that said, the good news is the next 3 Hatsune Miku games are mobile games. In fact, the next one we are talking about is... Egg?
Hatsune Miku Connecting Puzzle Tamagotori. I swear, one day we're gonna have a title equivalent of a light novel. This is a puzzle game where you need to connect 2 eggs with the same pattern. The catch is, you cannot have a line that bends more than 2 times. So the line can be infinitely long, but it can only bend 2 times. Or To keep it simple, 1, 2, 3. After doing each puzzles, you get the treasure chest with special berries. Use that berries to call birds and maybe even special puzzles which give you ultra rare berries. Collect all the birds and puzzles. Yeah, that's it.
This game costs $40, by the way. And calling it a puzzle game is a stretch.
Yeah, I have no other way to say this, but this game is the equivalent of flash games. And if you have no idea what that means, you're too young. And if you do know what I mean... But, just to clarify this game feels like a simple Unity project game. I mean, the birds are cool and collecting them has all their charms, but if you're not into that, which I am not, and the puzzles are easy. It might give you a moment to think about it, but at the end of the day, all eggs will be connected one way or another if you just collect normally. The only reason you might want to speed up is because you can keep up your combo multiplier to get more score points. But other than that, there's no reason to do so.
This game isn't bad. In fact, I can see the charm behind it. But meh is probably the best word I could use here. And for $14, I don't think it's worth it. Maybe $5, but at the same time, this is for Nintendo Switch exclusive. And knowing Nintendo eShop, don't expect this game to be on sale. And even at that low. Which, unfortunately, sucks. So, the first 3 games was a miss, which is very unfortunate. So, let's break that cycle and talk about the 4th game that I actually really liked. And it's a sequel to a game I already talked about. So, slight disclaimer, I did buy the base game by myself, but the Snow Miku DLC was provided free by the developers. This isn't gonna change my opinion is my alone and yada yada yada, but for the sake of transparency, I am stating this disclaimer.
With that said, I do like the game. It is a simple game. In fact, not much has changed from the previous version. But at the same time, stuff like the quality of life is better in my opinion. For example, instead of being perfect with no mistakes with your puzzles, you can now make no more than 2 or 3 mistakes and still keep the star for said puzzles. The controls are less slippery, at least I think so. I mostly play the game with keyboard and mouse, but playing with a controller didn't feel as loose as the first game did. So making slip mistakes is now more uncommon. And cosmetics is pretty cute and fun. Now you can not only pick your mascot aka Vocaloid when doing puzzles and cheering you on the bottom left of the screen, but you can also change any clothes to any Vocaloid. No gender locked or anything even. So now you don't have an excuse to wear a maid outfit. You can also change the decorations of your room by unlocking said furnitures by, well, doing more puzzles. This also includes Snow Miku cosmetics, except the Snow Miku dress, which is only locked for Miku sadly.
Look, I get it. In fact, Miku is my main Vocaloid. But I wish that was unlocked for all other characters as well. Speaking of DLCs, correct me if I'm wrong, but was the marketing wrong for that said DLC?
Originally, I thought we were only getting 1 special puzzle because the Steam page was written like that. But no, I actually got 25, which is worth the $6. Keep in mind, each puzzle took me around 20 minutes. So we're looking at around 8 hours and 20 minutes of content just by this DLC.
You know, I thought I would never be criticizing marketing in these kind of videos, but here we are. So just to make this clear, for $6 you get 25 special puzzles, decorations that you can unlock by doing said puzzles, and Snow Miku and Snow Aprons as, well, cosmetics. And personally speaking, I think that's absolutely worth it, but that is also for you to decide whether you want to buy it for $6 or not.
And here we go. Hi, this is Editing Maxim here. I am here because I forgot to state some of the things, and because, well, it turns out I am the minority when it comes to Snow Miku DLC. So let's just get some of the things out of the way. First, there's an achievement paywall, which people are not very happy about it. aka if you want 100% the game in Steam, you need to do and get the DLC, which people are not happy with it. I personally am fine because games like Vampire Survivors, Borderlands 2, maybe Dead Cells. Point is, I'm used to paywall DLCs or paywall achievements, and well, I don't really go for 100% achievements, but some of you might. The second thing is, yes, $6 is a lot for some people, which is, you know what, understandable. $6 for 25 puzzles and cosmetics are limited, not only with Snow Miku being locked, which is frustrating, but they say that there also is little extra furnitures added in DLCs, which is, you know what, I agree. There's not much, but I am happy for what we got. And while I stated this again, I did get the DLC for free. So there might be bias. I tried to make sure that there is little to no bias here, and especially because my opinion is my own, yada yada yada. But subconsciously, I might be biased because I did not pay $6 for the DLC. With that said, a lot of people are saying wait for the sale if you want to get it, but it's up to you to decide. Do you think $6 is too much for what we got for Snow Miku DLC? 25 special puzzles, cosmetics are limited, and locked Snow Miku. I personally think the good outweighs the negative, but I am the minority here. With that said, let's continue with the videos, Heavy.
One last thing, you can also dress other mascots and they do appear in the living room randomly too, which is cute and lovely to see. This game is pretty much $1 more than Hatsune Miku Connecting Puzzle Tamagotori. That is $14, while this is $14.99. And personally, this one is more worth it. Puzzles are pretty challenging, and cosmetics you get feels lively and cute despite being simple. And the presentation is also cute and chibi. The puzzle is the main thing and I enjoy them. It's like Sudoku, but Miku. But of course, this all comes down to, do you like these kind of puzzle games? If yes, I would give this game a try. It's in Nintendo Switch and Steam Deck verified, so if you want to play while traveling or just want a quick brain teaser every day, I honestly recommend this one. You don't even need to play the predecessor. In fact, I highly recommend just going with this one as your first if possible. Just don't drive and play this game, please.
Man, I love this game!
ミクだよー。
I am not responsible for your actions. Let's go to the last game, and this game is the main reason why I even made this video. I saw this game appear over and over in social media, and one of you guys recommended that I should try this game myself. So, without further ado, it's Project Mirai time. Project Mirai DX for the Nintendo 3DS. This one caught my eye for two reasons. One is because it has a sim that you will have to take care of the chibi Vocaloid. And two, people keep yelling I'm sorry to Miku when abandoning her. Gamers are sweating, yo. But this game is interesting because it has two modes, Rhythm Mode and Life Sim Mode. Let's talk about Rhythm Mode first, since this will be short and sweet. In Rhythm Mode, there's two ways to play the game, button and tap mode. Button mode is using the controller's button, and tap mode is using the Nintendo 3DS touchscreen to, well,
tap in the rhythm. And for what it is, it does its job. It's fun, it gets the message when to press, and it can be challenging. I will say I do prefer my Mega Mix UI than this because the clockwork feels more natural to me per se, but this is pretty solid as well. Also, I love chibi Vocaloid dancing and performing while you're playing the game. I am so happy that video and our performance is pretty solid here too. So, honestly speaking, no notes. This game does its job well and I like the rhythm aspect. Life sim though.
And this is where things get complicated.
When you start the game, you can pick which Vocaloid you want your partner to be. Miku, Rin, Len, Luca, Kaito, and/or Maiko. After which, you can pick a free house to live on and start your sims. In Life Sims mode, you can play mini-games with your partner. Sorry, mini-game. Yes, there's only one mini-game, which is Mikuverse, which is just Reverse. Yes, there's also Puyo Puyo in this game as well, but that's not really a mini-game, and it is at the same time. But even then, that's only 2 mini-games, which is kind of disappointing. I know rhythm game is the main game here, but I would like to have more mini-games often to have fun with your partner. With that said, each time you finish said mini-games or do rhythm game maps, you earn some points. You can use those points to give your partner some allowance for them to do their own things or maybe buy clothes and decorations for themselves. You can also buy stuff by yourself where they buy clothes and decorations, but there are conditions. For example, all clothes are locked until you play a rhythm map based on their clothes. Then you can buy them, which, fair enough. However, there's another way to get decorations via Kumi. She sometimes visits you and gives you stuff, like this lean figure or this snow sculpture. And finally, you can buy food and drinks to see them enjoying the meal. I don't know what else it does, but hey, it's a thing. Finally, you can use set points to rent expensive apartments or go to a summer house. Which I haven't because I'm too poor at the moment.
Not only I am poor in real life, but also in game! Ha 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 ha.
It is very clear that this is a long-term game where you slowly build up points and explore all the options and rent expensive places and/or buy cosmetics you want for your partner or their place. And, well,
it unfortunately did not click with me.
this is a game where you take care of your Vocaloid and enjoy time with them. There's also alarm system and music making where you can use said music to beat the alarm, which is pretty cool. But at the end of the day, this is a commitment, and there's not enough things for me to be committed to this game. And the rhythm game is good, but I prefer Mega Mix Plus, and I don't see myself playing this one while traveling. And the thing is, there's a lot of things they do have per se. Voice commands, while I do find it gimmicky, can be cool for some. AR card mode is pretty much a thing as well, but it's one of those moments where the game is good and I want to get into it, but there's not enough for me to be invested in it. And that is a hard pill to swallow.
And I think that's a good note to end here because this just proves that not all games are gonna click with everyone. My Hatsune Miku game is Logic Pain S Plus because I just find the logic behind puzzling and everything is fun, and the cosmetics is plus and it's adorable. But I can also see that people might not click with it because it's a puzzle game or something else. Whereas Project Mirai is something I really wanted to get into, but I couldn't. There's a lot of variables and things that sometimes that's life.
At the end of the day, there's no wrong Miku game that is yours. except the 2 mobile games. Whether it is Project Mirai, Logic Paint, or anything, every game has their charm, and I can see the sparks in each and every one of them.
There is one more Hatsune Miku game I actually wanted to try besides the whole rhythm game DX series, and that is Hatsune Miku Tamagotchi. I personally wanted to do it for this video, but yeah, I don't think I'm financially responsible for that yet. But for now, that's all the Hatsune Miku games I have played. I don't know if I'm going to make one for next year, but for now, I had fun trying new Hatsune Miku games, trying the goods, the bads, and the uglies, and I cannot wait for more to come. Well, there are some collab games that has Hatsune Miku in them, but that's a whole nother subject. Please don't make me play Fortnite.